My wife wouldn't let my teenage daughter come home because she's not family. After our fight, she admitted that she was jealous of my daughter. Anna is 16 years old. She was a mistake when I was 24. We have become close as co-parents of Anna since she was born. Her mother and I have always been friendly and cooperative, but we were never together because it was just a one-night stand. For a few years, my daughter has lived with her mother and husband on a different continent. She loves her friends and family and doesn't feel at home there, so she wants to go back. It's not the same making friends while learning a new language from scratch and speaking your own language. Anna feels very alone there because she doesn't know their language well and is still having trouble getting good at it completely. After talking with my daughter's mother, we chose to let Anna live with me. Her room is my home office right now, but I can just make her a new room. We didn't confirm anything. I first talked about it with my wife, and since we had already talked about the possibility, I knew she would be okay with it. The problem is that my wife doesn't want it to happen. I was able to get my daughter a ticket to our wedding, which is the only time my wife and Anna met in person. Since then, they have never been close. After that, I also didn't see my daughter in person again. Even though plane tickets are too expensive, they do sometimes, but not often. Talking when I video call Anna every day. She talks to her brother every day, even though they only see each other on video calls. He really likes her. My wife says Anna won't be comfortable in a house full of strangers. I tried to tell her that we are like family to her, but she refused. Since they don't see Anna very often, she and our child are not her family. I understand her point of view, but it hurts me so much that she has it. Even though our baby is Anna's brother, what she said really annoyed me because our child loves his sister, even though they only talk to her online. It caused a fight between my wife and me, and I told her that my daughter would. It's true that you should always come first. When we were married, she knew all about my daughter and my kids would always come first. My wife got mad and said she didn't want to be a stepmother, and that bringing Anna home would change how we act. She said that having Anna live with her mother on another continent wasn't the same as having her here every day. I told her that I would still be taking care of her, but no one was asking her to be a mom. I would not give my wife all the work to do because I was a single parent for a long time and knew how to take care of my daughter. I took care of my daughter when she stayed with me for days or even months at a time. I cook, do your work, and clean. When she works and wants to do something outside of what she does with me, I take full care of our son. Not sure why so many people are shocked that I take care of my own child, but my husband and I raise our son together. But she can leave the house and stay in a hotel room if she doesn't like my daughter being there that much and doesn't accept it. It's clear that those comments were stupid because they made things worse between us, so I was a big fool. My daughter is welcome to live with me if she wants to, even though my wife doesn't want her to. Even though I love my wife, my first goal is to help my kids become the best versions of themselves. After all these years, I would also like to see my princess again. My wife is mad at me and won't talk to me at all. However, that she doesn't want Anna here at all, and I know that I will get angry and that we will fight again because I can't leave my daughter alone. Change. I told my wife about that and the chance that Anna's family would come back to the country if things didn't work out. That way, she always knew that Anna lived with me a few days a week while she was still there. That would have meant that Anna would come back to live with me for a few days or maybe even months. Also, my daughter used to come over every day. My wife agreed with me when we talked about it years ago, but she now says she thought my daughter would stay with her mother in another country because their business was doing so well. Reddit is used by my kid too, so throw RA. So it wasn't so clear I made some. The info has been changed. Change to I can't stop reading the comments for 2 hours now. I have too much on my mind. Thanks a lot for the advice. No matter what the outcome is, this is making me think about a lot of things I hadn't thought about before. But please don't be too harsh on me because I'm a real person. Op has replied to comments that were relevant. The talk with his wife happened because she knows that my daughter lived with me before she left the country. Another poster says that my wife has always thought that my daughter would live with her mother. That's when she said it, not when we were married. I just told her she was fine with it when I brought that up years ago. She admits that she was wrong to think Anna would stay there. Commenter, if she doesn't change her mind, do you think your marriage will last? It's not true, is it? Not at all, no. Even though I love my wife, my child no longer feels safe or welcome at school. Commenter, I don't want her to feel that way here either. What are you going to do about the child you share? I meant to say that my son will never be homeless. Getting along with my wife would be the best thing to do. I will break up with her though, if she keeps refusing to let my kid visit. I'll make sure she and our child have a good place to live, and I will also try to get a cohabitation deal or a 50/50 parenting plan, like I did with Anna. I would see my daughter every day and care for her like I did with my own daughter. I wouldn't fight with my wife or put our son through things that would stress adults out. Say something about her without taking a side. But if your wife leaves, so does your child. Everyone is telling you to put your child first. You could give your son and daughter each half. In my opinion, it's a lot harder than you might think. Okay, I get it. It had also been on my mind. I don't want to think that seeing my son or co-parenting with her will be harder if I divorce my wife, or if we break up because of this. It has always been very easy to co-parent with Anna's mother since. We've been friends for a long time and have never had a fight. I'm sorry, but I had to delete the post because someone started giving me private messages with multiple usernames that I didn't ask for, and I'm not sure how to make the account secret or anything. I'm too old for that, so I'd rather post the edit here, where the comments can be closed at least. I don't use this site very often, but a bot started emailing me to see if I needed help. I guess that person could have my account closed for this. If anyone is interested, I think the post will be out there. First, I want to make it clear that I'm from a third world country. Getting on a plane here costs a lot, and if I go, my wife and son have to go with me too. We can't afford it. Just like every other parent, I want the best for my daughter, so I let her go to a different country with her mother. I don't think that makes me a bad father, but I guess people who have always had it easy don't get it. The last time I could buy tickets was for my daughter's wedding. There are some people who can't afford to buy an airplane ticket. I've given it a lot of thought, and the reason I'm the I is how I treated my wife. Even though I was mad, I don't think it was right to say that to the woman I love, even though most of the comments agreed with me. I told her I was sorry for what I said, and I also told her that I don't like it when she won't listen to me when I try to talk about our problems, and that it was mean of her to keep our son and daughter from getting to know her. She said she felt bad about what she had said and was upset. I told her that Anna was coming because it was the right thing to do, and no one could legally stop any of my kids from living with me. But by law, I have to give my son and daughter a place to live. Then I asked her how she would feel if we got separated and my new partner wouldn't let our son live with me because she didn't agree to it. She tried to argue. I asked her about, would she value a man who leaves his kids for a woman more than a man who takes care of them? Would she feel safe in her marriage to a man who does that so easily? My wife told me no, saying that she knows how worried I am about our kids and hates men who leave their kids. She knew she wanted a child with me after seeing how I video called my daughter every day, even though she lived far away, and how we always helped each other around the house. When I asked her why she didn't want my daughter to be here, she told me she was jealous of Anna, which I've seen her do before. For example, I sent my daughter's mother money to buy her a very expensive gift. I asked my wife what she would like for her birthday, and she said, I guess you will buy our son something just as expensive. I should have taken her comments more seriously, but I thought they were just weird jokes. I don't want my daughter to come and take time away from our son, she said. That made me feel bad, so I told her that as a parent, I could spend the same amount of time with both kids even if we had two. She knows that Anna isn't a bad kid and that changing our plans doesn't have to be a bad thing. During our long talk, I told her that I only wanted to make things work for both of us. I asked her to tell me what was really bothering her so that we could understand each other better, and I said I was sorry if I had upset her. The way I treated her had made her feel bad. We made the choice to talk and write about these kinds of problems better. My wife admitted that her envy is bad and that it makes her feel bad about herself, even though she felt terrible for feeling that way. Because I'm not going to leave my daughter to live somewhere she doesn't feel loved, I told her it was fine to start seeing a counselor if that would help us figure this out. I also told her that it is wrong to feel and be jealous of my daughter. After a lot of talking, my wife agreed. She wants to change because she knows it's bad to feel that way about a young girl and doesn't like it. People have always been nice to my wife and kids. Most of the time, my wife talks a little but not a lot when I video chat with Anna. I think I made a mistake when I wouldn't let my wife have video calls with Anna by herself, like Anna does sometimes with my child. My kids shouldn't know how my wife really feels about her because she calls her aunt, even though they don't know each other very well, so that my wife and daughter can play together and get to know each other better. I told her I could teach her how to play the computer game my daughter and I play. It made me think Anna would like it. A lot of the things they like are the same. She told me she loved me and wanted to try it for me and our child. If I got a split from my wife, I would destroy my son's home. He's also my child, and I don't want adult problems to affect him. That's not what I want to do because I love this woman so much. I'll do what I can to make things better, but she treats my kid badly right away. I told her I was breaking up with her, and she agreed and said she would work with me on this. Before I do anything else, I need to set up the room for our daughter. I also want my wife and our young child to get to know each other better. Mother about when our daughter might come. I've also talked about this with my counselor. He told me that getting them closer slowly before Anna moves in is the best thing to do. In the last 4 days, my wife and Anna have been talking more. I told Anna that we should teach my wife how to play with us. Anna and my wife have a really easy conversation, but lately they've been talking about weird things, which makes me feel bad because I don't understand what they're talking about. However, I'm glad to see that they have things to talk about. Most of the comments told me that, so I guess a lot of people will think I'm stupid for not separating my wife. That being said, things aren't that simple. Because we didn't agree, we chose to get a divorce with equal shares. Jail time. For my part, I think we should have behaved like adults and not just filed for divorce, seeing that my wife is trying to solve the problem and has been honest with me. It would be better for me to try again in the hopes that she will accept my child as a friend and, if she agrees, as family. No one can tell you for sure that your wife will hurt your daughter in the future, but I can do something to stop that future from happening. I would rather keep a positive mood for now because my wife has never been mean to my daughter, and we always tell her to talk to us about anything that makes her feel bad. My daughter also knows that if she needs to, she can talk to her mom, stepdad, or me. I don't think Anna will keep quiet if my wife says something that makes her mad. She talks quickly. They don't need to be best friends, I just want them to be themselves. A lot of people in the comments said I should use my daughter as a babysitter for free, but I'm not going to do that either. She and her brother can stay here for as long as they want. Change. In the last piece, some people said that my wife also posted here, but that's not true. She also doesn't use this site very often, and I don't know why. But I've been getting a lot of private junk messages from accounts that were made today, as well as alerts from that bot from a Redditor who thinks I need help. In relevant comments to which Op replied, "Commenter, you'll have to make a choice if your wife doesn't stop being jealous." It's annoying me, and I don't understand why someone would enjoy being so annoying. Just block me. Since she admitted how bad what she said and did was, we can only hope that she will get better. There won't be a second chance if my wife gets angry again because I've already told her that I will always choose to keep my kids away from bad people or situations. Reader, do you plan to leave your wife and kid alone? So, they are video chatting with me right now. If my daughter wants to talk to my wife only, she can make video calls to her by herself. My daughter is smart and funny, and if something makes her uncomfortable, she will tell me, her mother, or her dad. If it's okay with you, could I leave your wife alone with your daughter while she stays with you? Yes, I said in the piece that it would be great if my wife kept getting better. Is willing to get to know my daughter and behave in a close way. For the same reason, they are video chatting with each other to make sure they and I are both comfortable living together. Even if she gets along with your daughter well during video chats, that doesn't mean she will act the same way when your daughter is home, especially if she doesn't want her there. Not only that, but it doesn't mean she will treat her badly. Because neither you nor I can see into the future, we could guess what will happen all night. I would rather think about what is best for my whole family, and I believe my wife wants to see a therapist, to help herself and others in some way. The wife should know that she can talk to you if she feels bad. It doesn't look like this will work out. Well, my wife knows she can talk to me about anything, as I said in the piece. She has been honest with me about how she really feels, and we've been having open conversations. April 23rd, 2024, June 23:2. For some reason, I didn't think about updating until I realized I had the account. I thought, why not, since I have time off to care for my child? The link between my wife and daughter is strong. They watch shows they both like together through video talks. I have to say I feel a little left out today, but I think it's a good sign that they've started using inside jokes I don't get. My wife and I have both been seeing a counselor. I hope that we can both get better together. She needs to work on her problems and worries because she knows it's not nice to be jealous of my daughter. Some weeks ago, she told my daughter she was sorry for how she felt about her. It shocked my daughter when she learned that my wife felt this way, but she took the apology and told my wife that she understood. I left them to talk alone that day so they could have some alone time. Since then, their friendship has grown stronger. What my wife says is that my daughter told her that she will always like someone who really wants to get better. Many of the people who read the last piece said that I brought my daughter without first talking to my wife about it, but I did. I never told the mother of my daughter anything for sure until I talked to my wife. By the way, I was never with her mother. She was called my ex-wife more than once, but we never had anything in common. Then my wife started talking about how she wanted to design the bedroom. That stopped us from talking about getting my daughter back because I wanted them to get to know each other better before they moved in together. She said all of my ideas were too boring for a girl and turned them down. Because of this, she is having fun remodeling the room with our toddler, who is so happy to see her. The process is going well, but we haven't set a date yet because my daughter's mother needs to talk to her high school about things that are going on there and here, and I need to get everything ready here as well. Change 3 September 12th, 2024, brand new. Hey there. Since my daughter has been living with us for weeks, I think there's no reason to keep the account up to date. I just wanted to give you one more report before I delete it. My wife and she get along great. Her younger brother loves her very much, and now they might finally get to meet in person. He can't wait for her to get back. There are good changes in my wife and a good bond between her and my child because she has been working hard to get better. Seeing how happy my wife was to see my daughter when we picked her up at the airport made me more aware of it. It had been months since they watched movies online together. She is trying, even if it takes a while, and she isn't jealous of my kid anymore. My child hasn't started school yet, so she will have to wait until next year. Still not here. In any case, we decided to bring her now because the tickets will be a lot more expensive in a few months. My husband told me about this and said she was ready to meet with her in person. I was thrilled when she said that because I didn't think she would feel safe telling me that right away. Even though my daughter lived in a safe and beautiful place in Asia, she had a hard time adjusting. The bullying she faced was especially bad because she had trouble with the language. Even though they text a lot, she clearly misses her mother sometimes. In order to keep her from missing her mom and stepdad too much, I try to spend as much time with her as I can. Also, I got to know my wife's family and take her to see ours. She told me she misses her grandparents, uncles, and cousins, but I know she is happy here overall. The whole family is very happy about her return. Things are going really well for both my partner and me. I've also gotten better by going to therapy. These days, when we have problems or are unhappy, we talk a lot. I believe what's important is that we can talk about anything, even sad things. Thoughts. She has bad thoughts like everyone else, but I know she is a good person because she works to improve herself, just like I do. I love her and know she's a good mother who wouldn't hurt my daughter. I still enjoy taking care of our kids, cooking for them, cleaning and meeting their needs, even though it's hard for me to believe that my daughter does all of that now and I don't have to. I still think of her as little, just like her brother. Anyhow, if this is a boring report, I'm sorry. Everyone thought I was going to file for divorce from my wife, but thankfully, we are starting to get along again. They're now friends, and I'm okay with that as long as they're happy.